Hi, and welcome to a demo of RustPoint. Let's start with once you log in, you're going to see the screen. We can choose a project. You should see an example project there by default, but let's say we're going to come in and create one of our own. And we're going to start saying my first project. We'll skip the description for now. So we're going to start adding a path just like any mock tool. So we're going to call one, let's say we're going to call this pets. And for this pets URL, we're going to create one, get it by an ID, update it, delete it. So I'm going to save, and then you'll see there are all the actions relating to the one path. So with most mocking tools, let's take the get pets. I can come in, and this is the response. So I can make that be just simple as name, test. And I could click save. I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to grab the curl example. And I'm going to use hopscotch as an example. So we'll paste that in here, which is nice because you can paste in a curl statement. And you can see that was the full API request. Now I'm going to click send, and you'll see there is my JSON, name test. So as you can imagine, with most mocking tools, we can go through and add in hard-coded responses. And we know the post really isn't a post, it just gets hard-coded results, or hard-coded response. So to show the difference in this mocking tool versus others, let's take an approach where we want to turn this into a real working API backend connected to a database. So let's get going on that. So we'll turn that request of the get pets into something now that we can add and remove data, do posts and gets and so forth. So we're going to create something here called a resource, and we're going to create it, and it's called a pet. I'm going to add the name, and let's say we add a field called tag. So we'll keep this with a simple resource. And now for pets, I'm going to come in and by default make that be a component resource. So what that is saying, now that we have defined a resource, let's use that. So if I come down into my get pets now and I look at this, I see, okay, it's now the component resource. Now let's go see what this looks like. So if I come to my hopscotch and I do a get, you'll see there it is, ID name 1. So you're saying, where did this come from? Well, let's go back and look. As soon as we create an API path called pets, there's a database here, and it created the database collection or table for pets. So if I click on pets, one is made by default for you. So let's add in a name here. Let's say we call it Garfield and cat 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to click save. So we've just updated the database for that. Now I come over to my hopscotch and I do a get. And you'll see there, that was done. So if this is the case and it's a real backend, we should be able to create one. Well, let's do that. So we're going to create this here. And I'm going to change that to a post. And I'm going to go to the body, say that's a JSON. And I'm going to say this is an ID of 2. You don't have to specify an ID. It will generate one for you. And I'm going to call this a dog and name Rover, and we'll call this dog 1, 2, 3. So when I send a post, you'll see there's the 201 response that's created. Let's do a get. We should see 2 pets now. So there's our 2 pets, 1 and 2. So if we come back over to RustPoint, you should see in the database now, if I re-click on this, there's the other dog. So right now we have a full working API going for pets. I can come in and delete. I can do a fetch by 1. That's going to fetch the Garfield, if you see. And I can say let's delete pet number 2. So I'm going to delete that. Now there's a get. And now we have back down to 1 pet. So for this demo, we just want to show the difference between the mocking, where you can still do mocked and hard-coded responses, or you can make this turn into a real working API backend. Now, before we end, we'll just say right away at any point you can run reports. You can create your own. If you look under documents, create your own. These are all driven off scripts, so you can modify them however you want. So if you come in here, you see there's the script that creates OpenAPI 3. So when you come in here, you click, automatically OpenAPI 3 is made for you for your documentation. And if you want to test drive this whole API using Swagger UI, this will come up. I can come in, I can say get pets, try it out, do an execute, and you see there's my Garfield. So, I hope you enjoyed this is more of a just a get started demo with RESTpoint. There's still many more features. So please look at our other videos and see what more you can do, including scripting and making some really high fidelity prototypes. Thank you.